Real talk, when I wake up in the morning, the last thing that I see myself doing is having to sit down and record these type of videos. And if I'm being 100% honest with y'all, how many of you actually believe that intro and think I would miss up on an opportunity to say I told you so? What is going on, people? NGS back again for another video. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Ben. Second, happy Sunday to everyone out there. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. And I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I did that weird cliche thing that all the mysterious anime characters do. They just push their glasses up. And if you look closely, from anime to anime, each character has their own unique way of doing it. It's so weird, man. Sometimes they be going like that. Other times they be going like that. And then really strangely, I've seen some characters actually push up on the lenses. That's really weird, but that is neither here nor there because that is anime. We enjoy it for what it is, unless you're a person who does videos about anime online. And then y'all just ruin the fun for everybody. Anywho's third, and I'm not going to do this often, but I must give credit where credit is due. Insomnia Games has done the impossible. They have managed to make Miles Morales not only a competent character, but a likable one at that. Insomnia Games, I tip my hat off to you. You have managed to make the month of September a glorious one. Well, it was. Oh, it was. Until Nintendo doing what Nintendo don't. And by that, I mean offering a competent online service. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, 18 months out from the release of the Nintendo Switch. And we are going to be paying for something that we're already doing on the system for free. Let's flash back to a time before Neo was a Nintendo Switch fanboy. So we're talking like 2017. When Nintendo announced that their paid online service would not be launching with the console itself. Now, I don't know about y'all, but to me that was the biggest red flag. It was the reddest of red flags. I was getting Xbox One DRM vibes from this. Some of you might be asking yourselves, why? This is actually good. A company choosing to keep the service free for a little bit longer, that's for the consumer. Until you guys actually take off the glasses and realize that, no, that's not for the consumer at all. If anything, it just goes to show you how incompetent this corporation is with handling online. Guys, think about this for a second. You are launching a brand new product in the online gaming entertainment era, and you don't have your shit together day one. You keep postponing it, and by the time you get to the point where it was originally supposed to come out, it gets postponed again. That's a red flag. Especially when you count all the things on the Switch that are still not there feature-wise. That's an even bigger red flag. But for the past year and a half, even after I got the Switch and I saw the light of the hybrid nature and I bought more than 30 games for it, I was still told I didn't know what I was talking about. That Nintendo understands the consumer. They understand that consumers want value with their service. Don't you see? The fact that it's only $20 a year proves it. They don't want to be like shitty Sony or Microshit. We had to hear that for a year and a half. And here we are, less than 72 hours out from the release of the service. And every single thing that I predicted has come to pass. And by every single thing that I predicted, I mean we got nothing. I expected nothing, and I'm still disappointed. For $20 a year, you are paying for the privilege of doing things that are already free on the Nintendo Switch. That's it. That's it. We waited close to 2 years for this paid online service, which in and of itself sounds so weird. How are you waiting 2 years to pay more money for something you're doing for free? None of the features that we have requested are included with this service. But it's only $20 a year, Neo. If you can't afford that, you're too cheap. We'll get to these fuckers later. But let's go down the list of what you're getting for this annual service. Select cloud game storage backup. NES games with online. The ability, or should I say the privilege, of downloading and utilizing the Nintendo Switch online app. $20 a year. That's it. So what happened to all of this damage control for Nintendo not having built-in voice chat, not having built-in party chat, not having a built-in, messaging system. What happened to Nintendo utilizing this online service to give back to the consumers? Which in and of itself sounds really draconian, that we had to wait for a paid membership to get shit that is free on every single other device on the planet, whether they be gaming or not. And it's not here. Cloud storage backups on a select game-by-game basis. Can you guys just imagine that? Losing all of your data in the next mainline Pokemon game because Nintendo is afraid that you'll use it to duplicate your Pokemon and mass distribute shinies everywhere. Imagine that thought process. Yeah, it might sound good at first until your Switch breaks or God forbid it gets stolen. Could you imagine losing hundreds upon thousands of hours in Splatoon 3 because Nintendo thinks that you're going to be cheating if you use this data to hack into the online service? Well, newsflash, people are still hacking into Splatoon before the cloud service. People will always hack into online services and do really messed up things. That's why you gotta put that ban hammer into effect. Don't be banning accounts. Ban whole switches. Let them worry about that later. Do it for the betterment of the consumer. Stop penalizing the good people. Stop penalizing the people who are doing nothing wrong over the small percentage of idiots out there. And Netflix NES games with online support. Guys, you see, I made a video a few months back talking why I didn't really care much for the virtual console because I think this online rotation of things is a much cooler prospect. But now I understand what you guys were talking about. Because if you have a service like this, where the only way you can play the games is by subscribing to it and you can't download it and play it whenever you want, yeah, it makes a lot of sense why you'd rather own the games. But knowing Nintendo, they probably wouldn't be locked to your account. So when you get like the next Nintendo product, you'll have to rebuy them again, like you did with the Wii, like you did with the Wii U, like you did with the 3DS, and now with the Switch. 4 times. And you still don't own the game that you can transfer, like you can on PS3, to PSP, to PS Vita. Nintendo had literally 12 years to figure out online. If Sony, broke-ass Sony, could figure out online within the span of a generation, Nintendo, you have no excuse. Because Microsoft, for all their mistakes and faults with the 360 hardware-wise, they were the gold standard when it came to online gaming on consoles. Nobody was touching Xbox Live, and I don't care what y'all say. Sure, I prefer the PS3, but online gaming on Xbox was infinitely more better. Then you came with the PS4, which took a lot of cues from what Microsoft did and what they didn't do, and they capitalized on it. Now, sure, you can make the argument that Sony ended up charging for online in the end. Yes, they did, and it sucked that they went ahead and they did that, but they made sure that the PS4 came stacked with the features out the box. Like party chat, cross-game chat, being able to do things on the PS4 outside of just playing a game. I'm sorry, you guys, newsflash, but video game systems have evolved from just being able to play video games. You can do so many other things. Multimedia apps, streaming apps, playing your games online and streaming them at the same time. These are features that come standard with PlayStation and Xbox, and the Switch can't do it. You can make it a power to performance aspect. It might be too demanding for the Switch to be able to stream Twitch and play the games at the same time. Sure, but what does that have to do with us not being able to coordinate with our friends within the system itself? Do you guys not understand the problem here? Do you not see the bigger picture? Nintendo is charging you $20 a year for something that you can already do for free just so you can play Smash Bros. Online. Let's be real about life for a second. Nintendo, I gotta tip my hat off for them because they are some of the schemiest people out there because they knew they couldn't launch this service when Smash Bros. Was not in existence. Because realistically, there was a lot of doubt towards the Switch, me, myself included. I wouldn't want to buy the Switch and have to pay for this online service just to play no online games at the time. The big online game that was out within the first 3 months was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then you had Splatoon in the summer. But let's be real, no one was really about playing those Nintendo games online. Now they are, and they know that, which is why they're launching this service right before two of their biggest IPs. Smash Bros, Let's Go Casual. So on that front, Nintendo, you bringing back those Yakuza policies right there. Because people are going to look at this and see, well, it's only $20 a year, it's so cheap by comparison, I can't afford not to use it. When you literally don't even know what you're paying for. Well, you know what you're paying for, but you choose to ignore it. And therein lies the problem. All of this damage control has to stop, you guys. It has to. What are you getting for damage controlling that it's a third of PlayStation and Xbox's yearly membership? Yeah, it may be a third of the membership, but you're not even getting a third of the features. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, but sometimes just because a product is insanely cheap, that doesn't always mean it's good. If I have to pay for quality, I will pay for quality. Take MoviePass, for example. You guys might remember this service. MoviePass, the Netflix of going to theaters. Originally, when it launched, it was a $29.99 monthly membership to see any movie you wanted in the theaters every single day. Then they bumped up the membership to $45.99 a month. It was still a great value, and I had no issues with it whatsoever. But when they dropped it down to $9.99 a month, that's where all the problems started to rear their ugly head. So when they kept it as a premium select service, no issues. When they dropped it down to being so cheap that you can't afford not to subscribe, that's when shit hit the fan. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the fact that this service is so cheap why a lot of people view it as a necessity? How is this a necessity? Wouldn't you guys want an online service if you're going to be paying for it? To have the features you want? Wouldn't you want, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this, being able to message your friends? Wouldn't you want cross-game voice chat, cross-party chat, a Twitch app to at least watch your friends stream? Wouldn't you want discounts on all of the eShop games like Plus and Xbox Live do? Wouldn't you want, instead of monthly NES games, monthly GameCube and Wii games? Wouldn't you want all of these services for $40, $50 a year? Where you can sit here and reasonably say, yeah, I'm paying $60 a year for not just online multiplayer, but I'm getting, free games released every single month that I can try out, games that I've never even played before. I'm getting all these crazy discounts on things. Wouldn't that make more sense than $20 a year for select cloud game storage backup and old-ass NES games, but without it online? Guys. I'm sorry, you guys, but the ship has sailed with wait for this, wait for that, wait for E3, wait for the January Direct, wait for the Spring Direct, wait for the September Direct, wait for the September Direct now that it's delayed. All we keep doing with Nintendo is waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing ever comes from it. You guys, I love the Nintendo Switch. I have spent hundreds of dollars on this system. I love the Switch so much, but as a fan, I know it could be better. Because the way Nintendo is handling things on a system-wide level is not up to par with something like the PlayStation Vita, which was able to message your friends and cross-game chat with your friends and party chat with your friends and even stream games with PlayStation Now before they took it off the system. It could still do it. And that's a device from 2011. That predates the system by 6 years. And it could still do all those things. So maybe you guys are seeing the bigger picture right now. It's not just people trying to be negative about Nintendo. I love playing Nintendo games. I do. That's why I get on here and I make videos like Make the Switch, because I want to give you guys a better look into some of these third-party games. That's why I come on here and I talk about things that I normally wouldn't involving Nintendo, because I think this is beneficial to you guys. It addresses the problems. Like when Satisfy came out with that gaming grip, I could have just accepted the product and not really done a review on it, but I knew it was fixing a problem that many Switch owners had. The ergonomics of the system and how you hold it. And that's why I want to talk about these things. And you got to take the good with the bad. You got to talk about the negative stuff too. We as consumers deserve so much more from this company, especially if we're going to be paying for it. And couple that with the fact that there is still no way for you to locally back up your saves. They're making it so that this is required if you still want to be able to even have control of your games and for them to have longevity in the event that something were to ever happen to your system. So they make it so you can't back up your saves locally, you have to subscribe to this service, and they don't even tell you how much time exists from when your save is available in the cloud backup to when it's eventually deleted. And we're saying that this isn't anti-consumer in any way. Really. That's all I really want to say, y'all. I love the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to keep supporting the Nintendo Switch as far as games go, but when it comes to their online membership, until they give me a reason to want to pay to play online, I'm just simply not going to subscribe. There are plenty of amazing single-player games I can play on the system, and if I want to get my online fix, I'd much rather it be on a platform where I actually can communicate with my friends and not have to worry about using Discord and Skype and everything. Yeah, that's another big excuse people are using. Using third-party applications for something that should be built in on the system. Neo, it's because Nintendo wants to make sure that the kids have a catered community. Y'all over here sounding like damn Coral from Harry Potter with all this damn damage control y'all are doing. It's for the kids. You want to make sure it's a non-toxic environment. So you're saying a Nintendo product is made specifically for children? So what does that make you?